Frigid?
So, like, put your hand in it.
Let's try it.
Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about my favorite gear that I take with me camping in 2024. So we're kind of going camping a little bit. Traditionally, a group of guys, we do something every year during the fall. And it's always been a day trip kind of deal, going up to the North Shore, Minnesota. This year, we're doing a multi-night, 2 nights, 3 days activity. They booked a cabin, an Airbnb kind of deal. It's nothing luxurious. It's pretty rustic. I'm just gonna drive out there in the rig. We're gonna pop the tent and I'm gonna stay up there and camp it out. All right, guys, we're out here at camp. I'm gonna talk about the top 5 essentials, the top 5 gear items that you guys should consider if you wanna start camping or if you're camping currently and you wanna think about some areas you might wanna do some upgrades. Without further ado, let's dive right in. You guys might have heard of something called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And if I'm gonna be honest, I only know the first 2, which is shelter and food. And I might have messed up the order, but in the vein of shelter, I do think that having a tent, having a place to sleep, might not even be a tent, it might be your car, is crucial. Hey guys, Advertiser Ben here. This is not something I would classify as an essential camp item, but having a comfortable chair, having small portable chairs that pack down is a priority for me. And this right here is the Click Epic Lounge. And man, this thing, it's in the name, but this thing is epic. It's super comfortable. It's got like a built-in head pillow, so perfect for naps, and it's very cushiony. Literally just as comfortable as our furniture that we have at home, but it packs down super compact, really easy to bring with you anywhere you go. It's lightweight, has durable materials, and is breathable and can support a lot of weight too. I think like 500 pounds, something like that. Thanks to Click, go ahead and check them out. Link is in the description. Also, this year we've seen a number of high profile hacks and some scary stuff happen in the digital world. Dell suffered a breach impacting over 3.9 million customer records, including sensitive information. AT&T had 2 data breaches, one impacting 2.5 million customers and another impacting nearly 9 million customers. That's a lot of people. But if you thought that was a lot, Ticketmaster, for all you concert goers, got hit, impacting over 560 million customers. That's a lot of people. But the most scary one of all is just a few months ago, the National Public Data let us know that nearly every American has been impacted by a significant data breach exposing sensitive information such as your name, address, phone number, records, and social security number. If you've basically ever had a background check in your life, you have been impacted by this data breach. And so we're talking about 2.9 billion customer records. There are like 350 million people in the United States. It's been confirmed that those responsible for this breach has released that information online free of charge. So all that to say, if you haven't taken your online security, your virtual security very seriously, now might be a great time to do that. Thankfully, I feel secure because I use Aura, today's sponsor of the video. Aura monitors your personal data, including social security number, across billions of data points all over the internet, including the dark web. All of this is to protect you and alert you of potential identity theft. They also include up to $5 million identity theft insurance in case the worst happens. Plus, Aura has a number of tools to keep you safe, including real-time data monitoring, alerting you of any issues there. They also have VPN, which I use every day on my phone and my laptop, all my personal devices, to protect my browsing and online activity. They've got data broker opt-out requests, stopping those who have your information from selling it to those with nefarious intents, and a password manager to help create and secure strong passwords for all of the apps and services that you use on a daily basis. I'm not leaving myself or my family vulnerable in the physical world, but also in the virtual world. So if you are interested in protecting yourself and yours, go ahead and check out aura.com/KoreanMarksman in the description below. There you can get 2 weeks free. That should be plenty of time to try it out, test it out, see where your data lies, how secure you really are, and also gauge whether or not Aura is a good fit for you. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring this video. And so maybe you don't have a family. Maybe it's just you and a boyfriend or girlfriend, you and a dog. You don't want to own a tent, much less have one attached to the roof of your car 24/7. So for you, you could sleep in your car. Maybe have a little sleeping platform or just throw an air mattress down. You could go the hammock route, but I think that one's pretty limited once the temperatures start to drop at night, which we'll get to later on in the video. So I think the next option would be a tent. And with tents, you can go crazy. You can go ground tent, you can go rooftop tent, you can go pop-up tent, you can go traditional, like takes you 25 minutes to set up the dang tent. There's tons of options you can go with. For me, because I do go out semi-frequently, and I guess I want to go out more. I know that having a rooftop tent makes the prospect, the idea of taking a short weekend trip, because I haven't taken a longer trip before, there's less friction because I don't have to worry as much about, okay, we gotta pack up the bedding, we gotta pack up this tent that's gonna kind of suck to take up. And this might sound kind of weird, but I'm also driving with the tent on every day, so this truck is my daily driver, as probably is for most of you guys. If you have an overlanding rig or just a 4x4 SUV or truck. So lugging the thing around every day it's a daily reminder that I have this tent, that I spent money on this tent, and that I want to, that I value going out, getting out, doing things. So it kind of incentivizes me to take initiative and plan trips a little bit more than if I didn't have the tent up there. Also, you want to consider the number of people that you want to host, that you want to bring along, that your trips will include. So this tent, this is the Top Oak Vision XL. This is a fantastic rooftop tent, hard shell. It's about a foot tall, so it's a little taller than your traditional hard shell pop-up tents, but this is not necessarily a pop-up tent. This is a fold-out tent. It's bigger, it's larger than a king-size bed, if you look at the actual dimensions of the interior. And so I could comfortably sleep 3 in here, uncomfortably, but doably sleep 4 in here. Finding a way to safely and comfortably sleep everybody up in here is important for me, and I think we can do that with this exact tent. Top Oak did send this tent out to me for a discount to talk about. This thing's amazing. We got an LED light panel, we got a kind of sack that you can store dirty clothes behind, or anything really behind, and then pockets that you can store stuff in. Man, this thing's sweet. Comes with a mattress. I did throw a Free Spirit Recreation cloud topper. It doesn't span the entire like mattress area, so it is for like a queen size, but very comfortable, makes side sleeping possible, and I love this thing. Setup and teardown is pretty easy. The only thing that takes the actual bulk of the time is putting up the rain flies. You got a sunroof, a sky roof, whatever you want to call it, skylight. You have these things that cover up and provide a little more insulation, but if you also want to just open up these windows on the sides, you can do so and look out, have light coming in, while also sealing it up from the cold. And yeah, this thing's freaking sweet. I've never been more excited about a tent in my entire life. On this trip with the 3 guys, popped it out, and they were like, dude, because they're used to me having the traditional pop-up tents that are just wedge style, smaller interiors, and they're like, holy cow, this thing is freaking massive inside. So everyone was hyped, and yeah, this tent's great. Go ahead and check out Top Oak. Highly recommend those guys if you're looking for a budget-friendly but high quality and innovative rooftop tent. This is item number 2. I would highly recommend, especially if you have tech. I mean, maybe you don't make YouTube videos, but you definitely have a cell phone. You definitely have friends who have cell phones, family members who have cell phones that you're gonna go camping with, unless you're taking a solo trip. So having some way to, oh gosh, this thing is flapping down. Having a way to charge up technology on the go, as well as power some of your other devices that I will get to in this video. This is kind of essential to enable you to successfully run and operate some of the other devices. But having a battery station, this is the EcoFlow River 2 Pro. This is a 512 watt-hour battery, so not huge by any standards. I would recommend either having a bigger battery, like a 1,000 watt-hour battery, or being able to successfully and diversely charge it up on the go. I've got 2 solar panels, so in theory, I'm able to pull 200 watts of solar, which can very quickly, I mean, you're talking 2.5 hours to charge this thing up fully from dead if it dies. Out and about. If we don't have the sun, obviously you can't run solar, or it'll take much, much longer. I also have the option of charging it from the vehicle on the go while we're driving. That's not as quick. It's more of a trickle charge. It's about 115 watts of charge, so it'll take a little bit longer to get that thing topped off. Paid full price for this. I'm thinking about upgrading in the future, but I think for now it's serving my needs okay. So just evaluate that battery stuff for yourself, for all the things that you want to power and run. And if you want to operate some of the things that we're going to talk about coming up right now, make sure that that's a consideration in your mathing of choosing a watt-hour sized battery. All right, before we jump out of the tent, this is the sneak peek of what is next. So this is a heater hose, and what the heater hose is attached to is a diesel heater. So let's jump out, take a look. All right, so here's the diesel heater operating, and it has been for the past, like, I don't know, 10 hours straight. Here's the front of it. So kind of in the vein of the hierarchy of needs, staying warm inside of your shelter is an important part of comfortably and successfully camping. I would say the majority of locations in the United States and times of year, the night temps are going to drop below room temperature. So either you can combat that by bundling up, having sleeping bags, having a bunch of bodies inside of your sleeping area. That helps too. There are a lot of stuff that you can kind of hack your way around to staying warm, but for me, the easiest, simplest way that I can comfortably manage temperatures once they start to dip at night is to have a heater source. When you're looking at heat sources, you can go a number of different ways. You can go propane with buddy heaters and things like that. You can go diesel heater, which is the way that I've opted to go and the way that I prefer to go. I have done propane heaters in rooftop tents, in ground tents, and it gets kind of wet. The condensation gets to be problematic. You wake up and you wake up from like a drop coming down on your face, and you look up and it's like, holy cow. It looks like it rained inside your tent almost, but some people really prefer it, like some of my friends inside, so I won't bash it too much. Diesel heat, it's dry heat, so it will not only keep you warm primarily, but also if you've got stuff like wet socks, you can set it in front of the diesel heater vent hose, and it's going to dry it out real nice. You're not going to be really condensating much at all overnight, so that's one less thing you have to worry about, especially if you have a rooftop tent. A lot of times they come with condensation mats. So does the Top Oak Vision XL, and the condensation mat helps to fight against the underside of the mattress from condensating and then getting mold. So with a diesel heater with dry heat, you have to worry less about that. This thing's pretty efficient. This is a 10-liter tank. Yeah. So this usually lasts me about 2.5 nights, and then maybe 3 nights. And then the diesel heater itself, it comes in a nice form factor. This is from H Calorie. I bought it myself, and it pulls about probably 30 watts on slightly higher than medium. The startup phase pulls a lot of wattage initially, about 115 watts to get it going, but once the glow plug's hot and the fuel is just consistently being delivered to the system, it will run smoothly and efficiently for the rest of the night. You usually see people running these with the 12-volt cigarette plugs. For me, I'm not doing that for 2 reasons. One, I can't. My battery station, it doesn't have the necessary output on the cigarette jack or port to even like get this thing turned on and going, which is odd because the EcoFlow River 2 Pro has powered plenty of other diesel heaters that I've had, like from Vivor. This one's from H Calorie, like I said, so it's a different internals. It requires different things. So what I've opted to do is just use the plug from my fridge because it matches the plug from this guy. And so I just use that. I'm gonna shut it off now. I use that to power that with AC power. I run it with an extension cord all the way up into there. So that's the reason. One is I couldn't do it, but two, if you even looked at that cigarette plug wrong, it would wiggle slightly, anything. If it got disturbed at all, it would just shut the heater off, and you'd be SOL, having to do the startup sequence again, wait probably like 5 to 10 minutes before your heat comes back on. And that sucks when you're in like -5-degree weather in Minnesota. At the very best, that's an inconvenience. At the very worst, you're freezing for 5 to 15 minutes. But also that's bad for the diesel heater itself because you want to, like I just did here, turn it off, but let it run through its power off sequence, its purging sequence, whatever it does, the magic. You can hear the fans still whirring. So you do not want to interrupt that sequence. It will tell you when it's done. It'll say, I don't know, thank you for the adventure, have a fun adventure, something like that. But it'll talk back to you once it's all done and completed, and then you can go ahead and shut it off, power off your battery, unplug it, all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to let it do its thing, and we can talk about the next item. All right, item number four is a way to bring, store, and keep food cool. What I'm doing here is running a fridge. You don't need a slide, you don't need these drawers. You can just raw dog it, throw your fridge or cooler in your cargo space, wherever is most convenient for you. But having some way to keep your food, maintain your food, not get salmonella, not get food poisoning, that's pretty important to me. I have had the Arctic coolers before, the roto molded coolers. Those are great. They do keep food pretty cold. They do maintain ice pretty decently. It gets to be a harder effort during the warmer hot months, but In the winter, we just used it to prevent our food from freezing. So I think a cooler is totally fine, especially for weekend trips for those purposes. But for convenience and because it's the same price as said cooler, I choose to run a fridge, and because I also have a battery to run it off of. This is the Vivor 53 quart fridge, and this thing's awesome. It runs for in the mid $200 range, I think, and you have tons of space in it. There's an LED light that turns on. You have different modes you can do: eco mode, max mode if you prefer to do power saving, or if you want to have max cooling quickly. Thanks for using. She wishes me a safe journey. Now I can turn it off. But yeah, having this has been very convenient. Now normally I'm not filling it all the way up to the top, so I probably could get away with a smaller fridge, but especially because we go on trips with friends, all that kind of stuff, having something that can accommodate a decent amount of food, 53 quarts, and even if you have I had a 53 liter or a 50 liter Arctic cooler, somewhere in the 50 range, and you don't actually have that much usable space because a lot of that is used up by the ice that you're packing, the ice packs, the stuff that you're using to actually cool off the cooler. But for this, you don't have ice. You don't have ice packs. You can take advantage of all of that space inside. So that is very nice, and I highly recommend getting the fridge. All right, guys, last thing, the fifth essential that you need for going camping, for upgrading your camping, for having fun outside or inside, is fun people, awesome quality people to do it with. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that.
Oh, wow. We got some omelets here, right here, and these are actually for Ben, so you're just in time.
Sweet.
So
I'll wrap this thing up.
Here you go, sir.
Cheers.
Right there, cheers.
So ultimately, you guys can have all the gear in the world, the coolest rigs, but if you don't have anyone to go out with, you're just a loner. You're not having fun. You're not building memories with people, and I think that's kind of the primary reason to do any of this, really. So get yourself some gear, invest in the areas that you think will make the biggest impact in creating a comfortable and positive experience for you and for others, and then make sure you do it with others. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found something informative here or just entertaining. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave any questions or concerns that you have in the comment section below. We'll see you later. Be safe out there, and God bless.